Well, hello again and welcome to Modern Eudaimonia. And this time I want to address the aspect of mental. Last video I did the physical part, but in order to grow the body, you also need to have a strong mental capacity. Now, what do I exactly mean with that? There are different aspects to it. By the way, if I'm looking to the side, it's probably because I need to take a look at my notes, so be aware of that. The mental capacity when it comes to that, uh, we are also time bound in our own brains. Whether we are thinking about our past, sometimes we have a trauma that is, causing us to hold back. Sometimes we have a future thought where we're like, oh, I want to reach this, but barely we have a present moment. And that's basically where meditation is all about, that you are focusing on this moment at this right now. So that being said, there's always this thoughts of time flowing around us in our past, our future, and present, in order to basically achieve things in the future. We need to look back at the path we have taken, what has brought us up to here. We have to take a look at the path that is going to get us into the future, and what we can do right now in order to get there. Um, Also, there are a lot of thoughts going around in your head, but also be aware of what your motto is when it comes to an idea or an execution for yourself. Um, you know, do you set yourself a goal? Do you have the motivation to reach that, etc. These are things that I definitely want to go into. Intuition is also one of those things. Intuition and instinct, two different things. Instinct, I think, is more about whether you fight, flee, or freeze. It is that, basically that instant moment where you either take action or not at all. And taking that action can go, where you're moving forward or you're running away from it. And intuition is more about that gut feeling that you have within yourself. More like this, intuitive feeling, of course. But it's more like, does this feel right or does this feel wrong? You somehow get this feeling, but what are you going to do with it? Are you going to take action on it, or are you neglecting it? And usually when we're neglecting it, it's where we regret things rather than taking that action. And taking that action might not get the result that we want, but at least we've done something about it. There are so many aspects when it comes to mentality. Um, Belief is also one of those things. Do you believe enough in yourself? In some way, do you believe enough in the universe that everything comes together? But also, do you believe in others? I mean, there's a trust issue there. I will come back to that in the social part as well. Then we have neuroplasticity. That is basically the root of your neurons when a thought comes in, and that you can actually change that route in order to change your own behavior. For example, going for a habit that is not good for you, you can actually change that habit. And even though it's not easy, it is possible. We also have some characteristics like discipline, altruism, compassion, transparency, etc. etc. I can go on with this. I have a lot of them, but it's definitely worth to take a look at, and at what level you are yourself. Then we also have addiction, like, yeah, of course, those are the bad habits. Um, but should you neglect those things or not? Because everyone has an ego and wants to be doing stuff, or rather, uh, go for the instant gratification rather than the longevity that we can actually achieve from it. So in that sense, there's always that uh, talk within ourselves that we are, that we can game, or that we can watch TV, or that we can have a smoke, or we can use drugs, or we can have a drink, etc. But too much of it, can lead to bad habits, which can, result into, uh, yeah, bad results basically. Um, like I mentioned, the ego, we all have that, the internal conversation happening, um, and that is really, uh, this old saying. I'm not sure exactly where it comes from, but whatever you feed will grow the most. So if you have a bad habit, or a wolf that acts correctly and a wolf that acts badly, the one you feed the most, that's the kind of direction you will go into. Um, and one of the most important things is, I think, focus. How are you able to focus on things? Can you set aside 5 minutes to focus on a simple task? Or are you easily distracted? I think that is one of the most important things. Definitely if you are going on a diet. I mean, it's so important to know that you are going to have those internal conversations. No, I can have this piece of candy or chocolate, whatever. But you said to yourself, no, I'm going to keep myself to a path. But in some way, that mind is going to take over that feeling for, the chocolate bar. And suddenly you've eaten a whole chocolate bar, but you could have eaten just a small piece of it. So it becomes really, necessary to understand what's happening in that mindset. So I think those are really the most basic stuff that I could bring. Of course, there's a lot more deeper to go into, and I would love to do that in this journey. So keep looking on these videos, and we will go deeper into it. Take care now. Bye bye.